hate these big parking lots. Where's our car?
The disco seems to be near unfindable at times.
Valuable commodity around these parts. Just left Page in Arizona and we're actually back in Utah. We've travelled about 50 miles west and turned off onto a little dirt road that'll take us through the Orderville Canyon down towards Jacob Lake.
It's not too far along the way we encounter evidence that navigation may be troublesome.
715 is this one.
From the lower elevations amongst the cactus and sage, our first challenge is a long, steep, rocky hill.
Time for a cup of tea. Very important part of the day. Woo!
Thanks.
You're welcome. A highlight. Cheers.
Within the desert pinewood community is a woodhouse scrub jay, prickly pear cactus, and dried husks of the juvenile cicadas. These creatures spend a long time underground before rising to the surface and clinging to twigs and branches to pupate, bursting out of their former bodies. With their newly acquired wings, they fly away on a mission to make as much noise as possible.
There's a group of people on the planet called Italians. You might have heard of them. I know quite a few from Western Australia and they're quite nice people, but just set that aside for a moment because there's another thing Italian people are renowned for, and that is their cuisine. So there's a lot of good foreign food out there. The Chinese are good at it. You might think of Burger King, but I believe the upper echelon is between the Thais and the Italians. Now, one way to upset an Italian person is to bastardise their food. They can get a little snarky, or at least, at best, a bit peeved. So, tonight, I'll be cooking not spaghetti bolognese, but pasta royale. You can see we have this marvellous array of fresh vegetables that Wilms was out gathering in the Safeway supermarket and managed to unearth. And here we have them all pre-prepared before you. Marvellous. Our tools of the trade: our camp oven, our fire poker, our camp oven lifter, and the shicer shuffle for moving the hot coals around. Now the fire's about ready to go. The meal is ready to be prepared. Let's go in and start with warming up the camp oven. Don't worry that it's on the fire, it's kind of designed to be there. So this is just brilliant. A nice big smoky fire. Just like I planned it. Just get some oil in there. Then you won't notice all the ash. Throw in a few onions. That'll cover up all the extra little particles even better. A healthy squirt of garlic. Oh. A lot of pepper. Plenty of salt. We know about salt. Secret herbs. Can't reveal what they are because I don't know. It's just called an Italian mix. And then we've got some spice. I love camp ovens. I get very excited about camp ovens. It's time for the mince. Exodus. Oh! Oh, listen to that sizzle. I might put the lid on it for a little bit because that'll help it sort of whoosh, as it does. Well, I want to keep this camp oven spinning because the fire's on this side, see? Things can get a little warm. Now what I do now is throw me carrots in, but you can see how I've mixed them with everything, so there we go. There we go. That solves that problem. One of the great secrets of chefery that I learned, and I'm going to pass it on to you guys because hardly anyone watches our channel, so I'm sure it's going to stay a secret, and that is make sure they're hungry and feed them in the dark. I'll let that stew for a little while. Spin. I think it's about time to add the rest of the stuff. We've got fungus and tomatoes. Ooh. Get most of that in the pot. There we go. That was a success. Stir in. Then we're going to add our ragu. Oh, look at that. Now, I like to maximise the sauciness, so I'm going to add a little bit of water to the vessel. Sauciness is good, I like sauciness. And then we give it a shake. Hey Wilms, you're a bit saucy. And then tip that in there, and that's officially sauciness maximised. Touch more garlic. Just in case we didn't put enough in with the first chunky squeeze. And we'll give that a stir. Is we're going to take our shicer shuffle and get some hot coals out of there and dump them there, right on the ground next to the fire. Because what I'd like to do at this point onwards is a slow cook. And I'm kind of thinking that I'd like to do a slow cook for at least maybe 3 or 4 hours, which will probably have us eating around midnight. So the tip there is, if you don't like your friends, this is a good way not to get invited on another trip ever again. You're out. So there you go. There's another tip from Mr. Foreman, who is very good at not having any friends. Why am I laughing? Oh, magnificent. It's going well. Before we forget, we're going to have to put the pasta on, and I'm going to do that on the gas because our little pots, I don't want to burn them. So we better get this fired up now. Well, that one works. The other one doesn't work so well. Nothing like having the gas close to the fire. There we go, use a stick. Oh, and that's away. Good work. The trick I find with the pasta, especially doing it this way, is to keep stirring it, otherwise it all sticks together, which is very unpleasant and a bad look, very unprofessional. Lastly, a bit of cheese sprinkled in. This really is more of a meal you'd want to serve up in a bucket, but we don't have them. We just got these little squishy bowls, so we might have to have 5 or 6 serves.
Thank you.
Dinner is served.
Good.
What time is it? Midnight? Oh, delicioso. Leftover spaghetti for breakfast. It might be a bit of a rough day for Wilms in the truck.
I woke up and there was a herd of cattle in the camp, and they were passing by the hi, good morning. They were passing by the table right there. I saw one. He goes up to the jug of milk, and he goes, I yelled at him. I said, "Oi, you!" And he looked at me and he buggered off. Two, 5 is this road.
So we got to head south. We got to head down that little one there.
Yeah.
I'll go that way.
We haven't seen a signpost for this trail since yesterday afternoon, so I have no idea where we are. He's been taking some questionable routes, I would say, and yeah, we might be way, way off course.
It's very campy in there.
Well, yeah.
So that's a good sign. Those bush tracks have finally let us into a canyon. We've got some walls that are slowly growing higher and higher, and we've also got some much larger pine trees. Yeah, picturing Arizona in my mind. This is not it.
Towards the end of the drive, we come across an old wooden corral. Hard to say if it's still in use. The larger forest trees are noticeably more populated in bird life, with plenty of dark-eyed juncos, ever-present sparrows, and American robins. Scouting for insects in the bark is a delightful chestnut-breasted nuthatch.
That was a pleasant little jaunt on Orderville Canyon. We're going to make our way down to Jacob Lake, top up with gas, see what comes next.
In the next episode, we venture into the Kaibab National Forest in Arizona, hike through canyons to Native American art sites, and catch a glimpse of the Grand Canyon from the northern rim. Be sure to have all hands on deck for the next adventure deep in the American West.